up on me with body paint on, and you know they fine as wine, you know, like got it going on, you know. But I'm doing my thing. I'm walking around this place, and I'm like trying to figure out where I'm at first of all, and how did I get here? But we having a good time, but it was just somewhat right about it, you know. And we're doing our thing and stuff, you know, everybody having a good time. It was crazy. Like, it was jumping up in there. But fast forward, it was these two doors, like, off in the back. And it was double doors. They opened up like that, like going out. And everybody got in line and started walking out this door. All of a sudden I hopped in line. Like, I just appeared in line, like, poof, in line. Like, okay, where we going, you know? And I'm looking all at the front, like, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to look around me and stuff. And we walking. Everybody just going out this back door, all in a single file line. Like, it was like a group. Everybody was like crowded, but like walking all through the doors and stuff. And anyhow, I finally make it up to the front, and I'm looking like where we at? Like, what's going on? And from my view, it was just like shadowy, and like when I looked out the door, it was like shadowy and like flickering and stuff like that. Like, it was lights moving, but couldn't tell what it really was. So I made it up to the doorway, and I'm looking down in this huge like valley, and it's like mountains of like sulfur or something. I don't know, but it was like fiery everywhere. It was like burning. It stunk. Like the shadows that was on the side of the mountains, like it was like from like flames dancing. You know, like if you burn a candle in the house, and you like if I had a candle burning in this corner, you would see like the flame flickering and like dancing on the wall, you know, like the shadows and stuff. It was like that. But anyhow, now I done went through the door. I get closer. I'm walking through now. Like, now I'm like, I done came through the entrance. And here I am. I'm probably about 10, 20 feet through the door now. And we standing on this big old cliff. It was like this cliff, man. And everybody was still in line, like dancing and having a good time to the music behind us. Like, wasn't nobody tripping. I'm the only one looking around like, don't nobody see what's going on. Like, we in hell or something. I don't know what the heck is going on, but hey, this is not a good time no more. So anyway, man, people just start jumping off this cliff. Like, they still dancing on the way down. They just jumping. Like, everybody just jumping off in groups. Like they knew like this was their final destination, but they didn't care. Like they thought this place was just gonna be one big ass party or something. Excuse my French, but I'm just real, man. Like, these people were just jumping, and I'm like, hell no, I ain't going with y'all. Like, no. So I'm like turning around, and I'm like pushing people. I'm like throwing people out the way. Like, ain't nobody trying to let me through. I get to swinging. I'm like dropping people left and right, like trying to get back through this door. Like, I'm not going down there to that place. Like, you talk about fear. Fear grabbed a hold of you. It ain't just a feeling. It's like a fear is like a deity. Like, it grabbed me, and I'm like, bro, I ain't want nothing to do with this place. And for some reason, wasn't nobody realizing what was going on, you know. And mind you, it's a lot more details to the story, but I ain't trying to get all off in there, man. It's been 8 years ago, so you know, it's bits and pieces coming to me, you know. But anyway, man, I wake up from a dream, heart pounding, like just, I'm scared. I jump up, I turn the lights on, everything. I'm looking around, like, what's going on? Like, I'm still hot, I'm sweating.
Remember, it was on a Thursday. Matter of fact, let's take it back. Wednesday night, I found myself looking at these different YouTube clips and watching different out-of-body experiences and different films that, you know, they used to scare me. And I would watch it and it would blow me away. It would catch my attention. And it used to scare me so bad that I would wonder, my mind used to go in place like, God, is this stuff real? You know, I couldn't understand it because I've never been to that place. So I found myself praying. I remember walking outside of my apartment, and I was walking back and forth with my eyes closed and just started praying. And I asked God, I said, Lord, if you give me an out-of-body experience, you know, I vowed to share your word and to tell the people what I saw. You know, not expecting that God was going to respond back to that, because I was just praying out. I was just praying, you know, not actually looking for a response. And after that night, the next morning, that Thursday, October the 2nd, I had a dream. In these different transits, bright color lights. It was white. Like, the best way I can explain it would be shoo, 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 all the different flashing lights. And I appeared before a blue sky with no clouds. It was like a blue place. No land, no trees, no grass, no water, nothing. There was nothing there but a blue atmosphere. And I would see this atmosphere goes millions of miles upon millions of miles where nothing existed. It was like nothing was hidden. Everything was revealed. Everything was before your eyes. You could see it. And we was in this clear kind of body form, some form of light, as you would refer to a soul or a spirit, and I could see through. It was so transparent, and in front of me was thousands among thousands similar to what I was, and thousands among thousands behind me, and I knew that it was some form of a soul. And in the middle of my chest were seeds, multiple seeds. I didn't know what they were for. And I realized that I was the only being that could actually move out of my place and look and observe, smell, taste, you know, feel. All my senses were active at this point. And so, you know, I began to look around and to observe the things that I saw, not knowing that this was a dream. I thought this was reality. I thought this was actually happening, you know. And I looked forward, and there was this great shadow way in front of me, way at the end of the line. It was like thousands upon thousands of people in front of me, and there was a shadow, a great big shadow, but it had no detail. It was like as a vapor. And I could see that it was a shadow of something that was in the front. And I had many questions at this point in this dream, and out of nowhere, I heard these words: "Depart from me." And this galaxy, this portal, I don't know what to call it, on the right side of God, you know, or Jesus Christ, you know, whoever you decide to identify that spot of judgment, on the right side of him, there was this big portal that opened up, and there will be stones of fire. And normally when you get a lighter and you cut it on, try to spark a flame, but instead of fire, it was stones, and they will leak out of this portal. And whoever that guy said, "Depart from me," flew down this place, and the stones were so hot that it would burn everybody outside of that portal. On the left side of our body or our form, it would burn us, and everybody would be like, "Woo!" Like it was so cold or so hot, you would tell somebody to close that door. It's too cold. That's how hot it was, and the portal closed. And then he sent them so fast that the screams were late. I heard, ah! Like, it it was like, depart from me. And it closed up. Then the screams come, ah! And it terrified me.
And there's one moment where I woke up, and with all consciousness, all my senses intact, my brain, everything, it's just fully conscious. But I was surprised because I wasn't where I was supposed to be, in my room. I was in a weird place. I couldn't explain. There's no place like that. And I was puzzling. Where am I? What's this? I mean, I'm conscious. It's not a dream, not a vision, but it's me. Like physically too, it's me. I just cannot see myself wearing what clothes and so on. It's all the details just lost because of the trauma, because of the shock. And I heard a voice behind me. I couldn't turn my neck, to the right, to the left. Just a voice behind me. And because I fellowship with that voice every day, reading the Bible every day, I know that voice is my master,
Christ.
Jesus Christ, saying to me, you are here by my will. Go ahead and go forward. Walk on. I'll lead you. I'll show you something to tell other people. And just walk on. And a very long path. Long path, and it's very stuffy, and no air, and no wind blowing, and it's very heavy. I think the stink itself could kill you, literally, in this life. But I know that I was in a good hand, and I walk on, said, what is it that you are trying to show me? Get me out of here, get me out of here. You feel everything, like you feel your skin, you feel everything. And finally I reach a place. He led me to a place. It's a wide gate, and a huge wide gate. It's not like a gate at all, nothing like it. Whatever I say here is just far to be likened to anything that we have seen in this life on earth. And that gate is so wide, and then there's supernatural writings on it. Above it, it's amazing even to be able to read it, because it's so far, it's so wide and tall, and it's a door. And the writing, can God touch my eyes to be able to interpret what it's written? It's something like the valley of death and torture, something like that. And a voice behind me saying, open the door. I say, I'm afraid to even open the door. It's so rusty, it could hurt my hand, because it's not a spiritual experience. It's like almost physical, not almost physical. It's more than physical. I'm not going to touch doors like that. It's going to hurt my hands, but before I touch it, the door opened by itself. And as it opens, it breaks my heart so much. I could hear all those. I could hear people, voices of human beings crying for help and cursing, everything, you name it. And it's not clear anymore. So many people, and gnashing of teeth, and the heat the darkness just came out. It's not like darkness, like there's no light and this is darkness. The darkness is a force, and it's a reality. It's feeling the wrath of God in the air. And as I opened the door, and I could see, I was by the gate, and I knew exactly where I was. I was where the dead are kept until the day of the judgment of Jesus Christ, the white throne judgment that is written in the book of Revelation. And before I could see anything else, I could see far away. It's too far for man to reach with his eyes, but because of Jesus and his power, I could see it very far away. Endless. At that direction in front of me is really endless. And I could see smoke billowing up. And it was like there is a glow of fire, though I could not see the end of the fire. The valley must be very deep, and the lake must be deep. It must be a lake of fire or something, and it's so huge. I could only see the smoke billowing up, and I begin to see a lot of tortures happen, and I reminded what is written in the book of Revelation, that no one has been thrown into that lake of fire, not the devil, not human beings who died and perished in his sin, no one until the throne of the white throne judgment of Jesus Christ. So I know where I'm standing at is by the gate of death, where I see so millions and almost the number. Lord, trust me, a lot more than people who go to church for sure. And I saw people being tortured by the free demon spirits that are unto condemned, but they are not yet judged and not yet bound, not yet thrown into the lake of fire. And these human beings, these dead people, trust me, they are not dead at all. They are alive and more alive than they thought, than we think. And they are tortured day and night by the spirits and that they serve them in their lives with their sins. And this is pay up time. This is not judgment time, this is just pay up time, you know. These spirits own them forever. And these spirits, these devils, demon spirits, and this devil and all these cursed, dead people who perish in their sins going to be thrown to the lake of fire. And I could see all kinds of torture there. People are tortured according to their sins on earth. Not because it's God's judgment. God's judgment is fair, but this is like a playtime for the devil. You know, Jesus says it's better for you to go to heaven one eye. If your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out, because it's better for you to be one-eyed into heaven than two eyes into heaven. You know what happened? If you sin with your eyes, then your eyes are the play toy in that torture chamber. Not even a chamber is too small. Chamber is too small. And if your hands causes you to sin, one of your hands just causes you to sin, just cut it off. It's better for you to be one-handed into heaven than two-handed. I saw all kinds of torture, and people are.
That ain't blowing the gun. Got on a yellow band, about to give mama a stroke. Don't need an ambulance.